Hey, darling. This is just part of a presentation that Dr. Longo gave recently in California. I thought maybe you'd find this of some interest and relevant to what's going on, in your life up there with your auntie and everything. It's just something of interest. Take a look at it and see what you think.
And the other surprising thing that we were wishfully thinking for was that this is concern from simple organisms all the way to humans. It turns out that it probably is. The focus of my talk, so we now clearly know that these pathways, these genes, this set of genes can protect and make all kinds of organisms live longer. But something that in fasting can have a major contribution or orchestrate these genes. But something that happened in one of the experiments in my lab that Chao Wei Cheng was doing, which was we fasted mice. And when you fast the mice, they become very protected against chemotherapy and all kinds of different toxins. But chemotherapy is one of the ones we use, and now we're running a lot of clinical trials on this. But the more surprising thing was that even though the mice were protected from chemotherapy, after 6 cycles of fasting and chemotherapy, only in the mice that were fasted for the 6 cycles, the white blood cell number went back to normal. And so that was very strange, and we said, this is not possible by protection. How can they just go back to normal? And so we started thinking about regeneration. Is it possible that fasting is telling the body, okay, now I want to make new cells. I want to regenerate the immune system. And so I started thinking, well, maybe the body has everything in it to fix itself, right? To regenerate and rejuvenate itself. I started thinking about, how does a couple of 40-year-olds generate a perfect baby, a 0-year-old baby, right? And then, if you think about it, you have old sperm and an old egg, right? And they get together in the same body, and then all of a sudden, it's just perfect, right? So then the body knows how to do it. We don't know how to make the body do it. So is it possible that fasting is one of the ways that to push the body to do exactly that, go into this regenerative, rejuvenating mode? And evidence for that comes from the mice. When we took mice and started middle age, we gave them this, what we call fasting mimicking diet. Now that we know how each ingredient orchestrates all this genetic network, we can play with the diet to make the mice think, and people, as you'll see in a second, think that they're fasting, right? And so with this diet, we start at middle age, and then we feed it to the mice twice a month for 4 days, and then we return them to the regular diet. And it turns out that you see the level of white blood cells in the young mice is very high, and then in the old mice it goes to a very low level, and then at the far right you see the old mice that have been on this periodic fasting mimicking diet. So now the level of white blood cells is back to the youthful level that they had at 4 months of age. And so you know about the connection between the immune system and cancer. And so one of the things you would expect if the immune system is getting stronger, as I just showed you, and rejuvenated, is the level of tumors goes down, and actually goes down dramatically. So the mice that have been on the diet periodically have about half of the tumors, but these tumors also occur later, and you see there on the right, the red dots are from the mice that were on the fasting mimicking diet, and the gray dots are on the mice that are on the regular diet. So a lot less cancer later in life, and a lot of the tumors are benign in nature instead of the malignant ones that are developed by the mice on the regular diet. Okay, so regeneration from within. And so how does it happen? And so I'll just summarize it very quickly. But what happens in these mice is that you have these genes that I just already told you about, IGF-1 and PKA, and these genes basically keep the stem cells in a stalled mode, right? And the immune cells, you have a high level of immune cells, but a lot of these cells are damaged, in fact. This explains a lot of the autoimmunities that people have, right? So they're not necessarily functional or functioning well, especially in older people. So when the mice or people fast, now the stem cells, these IGF-1 and PKA genes are reducing levels, and now the stem cells are activated, this hematopoietic stem cells. So the stem cells of the blood are activated, and actually the immune cell level goes down, right? So the patient or the mouse is temporarily immunosuppressed, right? And then the trick happens when you refeed. Now, the stem cells that were activated during the fasting, they go to work and they start regenerating new immune cells. So in the mouse, it's really dramatic because the level of immune cells goes down to about half and then back to the normal level. So within...
Pretty fascinating, I think. It's worth taking a look at, darling. Love you.